Dungeons and Dragons session. We are super hyped for this. Just talking before we came on there, it's kind of funny. This all came from a tweet that Nitro put out saying, I want to play some Dungeons and Dragons. And it was actually our good friend there. You'll see the Dungeon Master, Sir Tom Leveen.
Yeah, we were just talking about it. I just threw it out to the Twitterverse after the Stranger Things finale.
And apparently Tom caught it because he responded, and here we are. We are playing Dungeons and Dragons. So
for the very first time, I think we should say that nobody here outside of Tom has played. No one.
Yeah, so like pretty much Tom is our expert here that's being our Dungeon Master for this evening. Which, by the way, first of all, if anyone doesn't know, shout out here to Mr. Tom Leveen, published author, comic book writer, novel writer, working non-stop. If you follow this man on social media, he is non-stop working and has put out some amazing pieces of work. If you check back in our archives, we've had the amazing opportunity to sit down and chat with this man. And Tom, thank you so much for doing this.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it, man. This is awesome.
It's a great privilege.
You say that now.
Please don't kill me the first day.
Now because we'll see what happens next. But as for the rest of us, we're fans of D&D. Like, we've watched D&D sessions, we've read up on it, we've done study beforehand. But this is our first ever D&D for most of us. No TPK, Cool Breeze. That's not cool. Don't speak that over us, man. If anyone doesn't know, TPK is total party kill.
No. I'm gonna write that down.
Hammer ban.
But we're going to take the chance to kind of introduce you because obviously tonight we are not being ourselves. Nitro's taking that step further than the rest of us. You may notice.
Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous of my luscious locks.
Trust me, I'm not. But we're going to take the opportunity to go around, and most of us you already know from stream. Obviously, I'm Cross and Nitro. Jaye you'll know from streams. Nitro's wife, Tolkien Asian. You may have seen from our 12-hour stream, or if you follow Jaye and her on My Cup of Tea. So hopefully you know who we are, but we are going to introduce you to our actual characters for this evening, which I am super hyped for. So I'm going to kick it off. Stop laughing. So Roland's streaming next to my wife tonight.
It's just a shorter you.
Pretty much, yeah. He's mocking me. Tonight I am playing Adrik Hammerjaw. I am a Dwarf Barbarian, which my wife is laughing at me because dwarves essentially are Scottish. So essentially I'm playing a shorter version of myself.
Pretty much.
Which I'm okay with. I've got no issue with that at all. But Adrik comes from a low-level kind of mining family. He grew up in the mines and was expected to mine just like his brothers and sisters and father before him and all that sort of stuff. But Adrik was never kind of into that stuff. Adrik is still fairly young in his age for a dwarf, but he'd never really wanted to do the hard day's work. So he basically grew up being a bit of a grifter. And once he managed to get out of the mines, once he managed to get out of where he was and come to the surface, he found the best grift of all. He went to drink at a local pub, and after taking out a bunch of goblins that had attacked them, he earned the last name Hammerjaw, which he keeps to this day, and basically realised, hey, I like this hero worship thing. I like people praising me as a hero and buying me free drinks and all that sort of stuff. And even though he's never fought another fight in his life ever since then, he's basically been coasting on the hero worship since, and he's okay with that because most of the time he's drunk and not really noticing. And I'm going to hand over to my lovely wife, Jaye.
Alright. So I am going to be playing as Oighre Lahmach. Oighre is a Dragonborn bard. But she's a different kind of Dragonborn. She was born to a Red Dragon clan family. But she was born completely white with blue eyes. We don't know who the father is. But Oighre didn't really care about that. But because the Red Clan, because she was so different and she was also born smaller than what most Dragonborns are born as, they still accepted her because Dragonborns do accept their clan, but just didn't really invest in her too much because she was different. She was more quiet. She didn't really want to get into any fights. and she was very knowledge driven instead of fight driven. That all came to a head when her mother got very sick. Oighre delved into the magical arts, especially into music, because the music was a way for her to express her deepest emotions. And even though her mother did eventually pass away, Oighre's goal was then to try to be the best at magic that she could be. And then through that, she was best to be able to express it through music. And so she decided to travel all over the realm to different cultures, different peoples, and just try to learn the very best of magic and music that she could from all different types of people.
Wow. Awesome. Love it. Okay.
All right. I think Tolkien Asian, you're up.
Yep. I'm Tolkien Asian, but I'm playing as Vadania Moonbryn. I am an elf who has gone rogue. I was an commander in the Elven Cavalry, and that was up until my horse Varus was killed by the Drow. And now my number one goal is to kill as many of them as I can.
Drow.
And I pretty much do a lot of contract work, whatever will get me some money. And I keep to myself. And that's about it.
Awesome. You guys are awesome storytellers. This is a great start.
All right, well, I'm Nitro, as everybody knows, or most everybody knows, should know, hopefully, maybe, possibly, I don't know, we'll see. I am playing Horen Wolfsbrood, who is a human druid. He grew up outside of a small city in a village with his mother and father. Around the age of 5, a powerful sorcerer broke into their house and murdered his family, and he was witness to that. He did escape into the woods near his house, and he ended up meeting a huge direwolf in the woods who may or may not have spoken to him, and he ended up passing out. What he did not know at the time was that the wolf took him to the outskirts of a local Druid village, where he was kind of taken in as one of their own and raised, and he set off at age 16 to kind of do a walkabout, so to speak, to kind of learn more about nature and his role as a druid. And he's been in the wilderness ever since. He's in his early 20s, and the only thing on his mind is just the constant revenge for his parents and his love for nature, obviously. And he adopted the moniker Wolfsbrood because of his encounter with the wolf. So he likes to think that he's part animal, and he feels more connected to animals than humans. So.
Okay. Awesome. Again, very good storytelling, everyone. Good job there. So let's talk about a couple of quick sort of ground rule type of things. Not really rules, but things that we want to keep in mind. And just for reference, for anybody who's tuning in, I started playing D&D with the Red Box, and if you're old enough to know what that is, good job. That was one of the first editions of D&D that came out, and that was back in 1986 or so. And I still have my dice from back then, so we'll be rolling those bad boys later tonight for sure. And then I started playing a different tabletop game called Champions. It was a hero system, very different combat system, but it was kind of my favorite thing to do. And then 2 decades later, picked up D&D again with some friends. When we moved, my family moved to Canada recently, and the very first thing I did was look for gaming groups, and I was very fortunate to find one right here in town, not very far from the house, and they were starting a new campaign, on it, and so I jumped in. And so I'm still actually sort of new at this to a certain degree. I'm not new to GMing or DMing, but I'm new to this system, so to speak. So there might be some, some mechanical issues, and that's totally okay, because I'm here for the story. I hope you guys are here for the story and the interaction. That's really the main thing. It's cooperative storytelling. So with that in mind, it's going to be in everyone's best interest. Obviously, playing character, that's cool, but as players, to motivate your characters. They need to have agency, like we would have in any good story. You want your characters to make choices and make decisions, and not have to like send an ogre in and knock you over the head and drag you off to the adventure. You know, so it's like, and now we're forcing you. Like, there should be some kind of motivation. For everybody to do that, which would be super cool. The other thing that I learned recently, which is super smart, with this group that I just joined, is I'm just going to call it red cards. And without going into details about what may or may not be in the adventure or the campaign, if at any point I am narrating something or I'm bringing in a story element that you're like, I am totally not okay with that, just raise your hand, say, time out, red card, nope, don't want to go there, something like that. Totally okay. We will stop, rework, figure out how to get around it, get through it, past it, whatever we have to do. Because that's not, again, it's a game, and if we're not having fun, and if we're not like enjoying it on those levels, then we don't need to be doing it. So if anything like that comes up, please don't feel like, oh, I don't want to offend Tom or anything. No, offend me. Stop the game. Say, this isn't cool. Can we do something different? And we'll fix it. So, and we're all adults. I'll let you guys figure that out as we go. And some of it we'll just kind of figure out as we go anyway. It's like, this doesn't feel right, so we're going to veer that way or whatever. So anyway, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the intro. Does anybody have any other questions before we start? Because I have one major question for you guys, but I want to make sure everybody has a chance to hop in.
Not before we start. I'll probably have plenty.
I'm definitely going to have a lot once we start.
Amen.
Yes.
Everybody's got
I'm so scared.
6 dice, right? 6 dice?
Yes.
Yes.
Of all varying shapes and sizes? Everyone's good there?
Yes.
Cool. You all have your character and something to write on, or a character sheet, something to keep track of hit points and stuff like that?
Yep.
You might want to take some notes as we go. I will try to as well, but you never know. Oh, I do want to address I don't know, I can't see the chat, but the total party kill thing. That's a thing. It totally is a thing. That is not my intention. I am hopeful that this is the start of a very long, illustrious campaign that could go on for years and years. It might not, but my intention as a storyteller and as a GM is always to kind of have that in the back of my mind, that this is chapter 1 of what hopefully is going to be an epic saga. But you might die, yeah, because if there's no risk of death, then it kind of takes away the fun. But I'm not one of the DMs that's out there like, I'm going to kill all you guys, because that's easy and it's boring. Like,
I will murder you.
No, that's not what you said in our DMs earlier.
Yeah, no, it's not. We're not talking about that. We're live, so it's different. So yeah, okay, that's good. Woo! And I'm already throwing things around. So again, I love everybody's storytelling from all these characters. What I need from you all now is to figure out, and I don't know if you've talked about this yet, is how the 4 of you all came to be together, because it's going to be a lot easier to jump into the action if you start off as a party of some kind. Mm-hmm. So have you had a chance to go over that at all, or do we need to do that now?
I think at one point we had said maybe there's like a job, there's like a local job that's being advertised for payment. I don't know, and everybody basically in the group kind of applies for it. I don't know if that makes sense. Wasn't that what we talked about, Cross?
Yeah, I think that was the idea we had, was like basically we'd all kind of came together to whatever town I've set up and hero worshipped in, because Adrik would never leave. And basically there was a big job to do, and we all kind of wanted to put our hat in the ring for it, and that's what brought us kind of initially together, was all going for that job and finding out, oh hey, we can actually do this.
Okay.
Kind of like the kind of insight thing.
Cool, got it. One other thing I wanted to make sure, because I don't remember if I said this privately or not. I'm a theater kid. I have 22 years of acting and directing experience. So and I play with theater kids. So we tended to get into our characters quite a bit. And I just want you to know, at some point, either this evening or soon, I can virtually guarantee you, without even thinking about it, I'm going to slip into a horrific Scottish accent. So I just want my crowd not to be too upset when that happens. It's totally gonna, though.
Non-perfection.
If it's not quite right, you can jump in and correct me. You know, that's more of a than a you know, I don't know.
So that means I won't be able to understand at least 2 of you tonight.
Right.
As long as you say murder at least once, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Okay. I just want it to be known. If that's a red card, you can say it, like, no, move on. We need to do British, or we need to do some
You're absolutely fine. I have no issue with it at all.
Just don't ask him to do an American and we're good.
Unless you want somebody from Texas who's a used car salesman. Then,
Yeah,
then
exactly.
we're good to go.
What are you on about? That's what all Americans sound like.
That's true. That's absolutely 100%
Oh
true.
my gosh.
All right, so you guys ready to go?
Let's do this.
Yep, let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
So this job
I
that
gotta
you
get
applied
proper.
for recently, threw your hats in the ring. You got outbid. Somebody underbid you guys by quite a significant amount, and so that was kind of a bummer. And but it happens, you know. What are you gonna do? It happens. However, a couple things that come out of that moment in time when you were underbid is the first is somebody you happen to know in the town brings a rumor back to you guys. You probably have like a Cheers, you know, a bar somewhere that you all gather once a week, every night, whatever. Possibly, I can see Adrik probably being there like pretty constantly, just enjoying the crowds and whatnot. So you've made some friends there, and not long after this underbidding happens, you are told of a rumor of a place not too far away, but it's nowhere you've ever been. And I want to make sure I get my notes correct. In the kingdom of Asena, not too far, a few days' journey by foot. And there's a rumor there that there's a young person was kidnapped, was taken away by force, and there is a pretty sizable reward for finding her. That's all this person is able to tell you. And it's just a rumor, don't know how much truth there is to it, but it's a whole lot more exciting than what you've got going on here. Plus, as you're overhearing, or as you're hearing about this rumor, the team, the party that underbid you on this other job was slaughtered. They're still finding pieces of them scattered in the forest. So you guys are kind of like, oh, all right. So that kind of worked out. Don't know what happened to them. Nobody wants to know, but didn't go really well. So now feels like perhaps a good time to venture out a little bit and maybe take a look into what this rumor may be. And at that point, I'm going to turn it over to you. What do you want to do?
Shoot. So we're in the bar, right?
Put you in the
everybody's
bar
everybody's
your
in the
hometown.
bar.
Everybody's in the bar in your hometown.
I'm just reading a book. Setting up.
Copy that.
Just watching Adrik just make a fool of himself with all the people.
Mm-hmm.
Need to make a fool of myself. I am going up to the bar. I'm getting a drink first of all. I'm in here with my people. Let's do a little bit of celebrating while we work stuff out. That's not my department. I'm going to go get a drink.
So I come out of the woods from my six year, you know, whatever you want to call it, walkabout, roundabout, something like that. Not a roundabout, it's a walkabout. And I see the flyer for the kidnapped young girl, right? So I go, which is outside of the bar. So I go in the bar and I start inquiring about it.
Okay.
To the
All right,
first people that I meet.
Okay. Now you guys have already known each other a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we've already got kind of the party established. You at least at the bare minimum, you know these other three adventurers.
Okay. So while Adrik is at the bar, I walk in with the flyer and I question the barkeep. I side glance at Adrik, give him a fist pound, and I start inquiring about the kidnapped girl.
Okay. Joy, anything? Vadania?
In my mind, I am not afraid of a challenge, and for me, I'm all about this. I take almost any challenge I can find.
Got it. All right. So at the. All right. So. Nitro, Horen, and Adrik, you're at the bar talking up the bartender. Did you say?
Yes. Chatting to the bartender, chatting to everyone who can come near me.
Okay. So he's, you know, washing mugs and whatnot, and he goes, "Yeah, that would be the keep. About 3 days walk from here, in Asena. Rumor is, as the keep was being built several years ago, a Minotaur swept in, tore the place up, made off with this girl. But the girl's mother used to work for the king. For the queen. So the queen's put up a reward for anybody who can find her, but several parties have gone in and either haven't come back or have come back not whole. Why, you interested?
Possibly.
Noreen, what do you have there? What are you talking to him about?
What?
What are you even doing? I was talking to Noreen.
I don't know. I just heard a voice.
Noreen, what are you guys talking about? What is this rumor? What'd you find? What's that in your hand?
Who are you speaking to?
Noreen.
Oh,
Oh,
hold on.
Ori.
Horen, sorry. What is that?
Horen. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Horen,
No,
sorry.
no.
Okay, so I was like,
It
Yeah.
looked like an inn on the...
It does look like an inn.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
It's Horen. So I found this flyer outside of this pub regarding a kidnapped young girl, and this is the flyer. We were just kind of talking about it with the barkeep here.
well, I mean, surely Adrik wouldn't want to leave the confines of his lovely home here, would you, Adrik?
Generally, no, but what was that bit that said about a reward?
Well, the figures differ. Depends on who you ask. I've heard anywhere from 500 gold pieces to up to 1,000. I mean, we were talking about if the queen is involved, then I think it's possible. It seems a little, I don't know.
But surely other teams and other people have gone after this, right? How old is this rumor?
Oh, it's only come here recently. There have been several, from what I hear, several parties have tried to find this girl to no avail. But, they were probably not the most well-equipped, not heroes like you.
So I heard you mention a minotaur. Was there any mention of a sorcerer? Possibly.
I haven't heard much about a sorcerer. There was another rumor I heard about an evil priest and something about the undead. Who knows anymore? Probably just stories.
I don't know what we're hesitating about. We need to find this girl.
Well, I for one am up for an adventure, especially if it involves saving someone. So, in need. So, I'm down if you guys are.
The barkeep's still polishing his thing, and he's totally eyeballing Adrik right now, just like.
Well, of course I'm going to step up and do this. I mean, this is my hometown. This is my people. Of course I'm going to go out there and help. If there's a reward, I mean, a little girl that needs to be saved, of course I'm going to step up and...
Yes, because we all
Step
know
into
you're
that.
a hero.
Exactly. I'm a hero,
Yeah.
as these people well know. Aye, of course I'm going to step up and do it.
Right,
Always
all
wanted
right.
to do it.
Should we take a wee dram before we leave?
Absolutely.
On the house for you.
Give
Yeah,
me a blue-
that's what I like to hear.
Give me a gentle blue ice. Not too icy.
Done. So you get your free drinks, and you kind of, as you're turning away from the bar, the people who are there all stand up and start cheering. Ah! I mean, and for a moment, feels really good to be the focus of attention, and like maybe.
Fear not! Your hero is going to set out and save this little girl. Because of course I am. Thank you for your adoration, people. I will not let you all down.
I slowly slide out of the side door and wait for everybody outside.
Oh, that's a great start. Right on. So I'm going to put you at, this is like lunchtime, right about. So presumably you don't necessarily have all your gear on you, and we'll kind of, unless there's anything in particular, we'll kind of speed through that to go get your usual stuff. Now there are some DMs or GMs who, like, if you don't specify, well, I brought this and this and this, then you don't have it. I don't play like that. Like, if you're going somewhere, you know if you have your bag. Like, you just do, and your bag has your stuff. Whatever your stuff is, it's probably in there. So as we get deeper into things, if there's something that you want or want to ask for, just ask and I'll let you know. If it's likely you have it, maybe we'll roll a die. It just depends on what it is. But for the most part, you'll have your typical sort of kit, and I assume you brought all of that with you. So unless there's anything specific you'd like to do first before you head out.
Yeah, nothing specific for me.
Nope.
All right then. Now, unfortunately, being poor travelers and townspeople, you don't have horses, so you're going to be doing this on foot. So it's going to be kind of a long haul, but that's okay, not a big deal. The first part of it isn't going to be anything you haven't seen. I mean, you've been outside the town before, obviously, for various and sundry reasons. You just haven't been quite that far out. So it's going to be a dirt road to start, fairly wide. You have some traffic, some carts and horses and things like that, mostly farmers or tradespeople, things like that, other villagers coming and going, things of that nature. And the first part of the day goes pretty smoothly. You're coming up on sunset, and the trees are starting to change a little bit. It's not quite the same types of trees that you're used to back home, but other than that, nothing really major. So coming up on sunset, is there anything in particular you'd like to do, or your plans at this point?
I mean, we should probably talk about, depending on the weather, maybe making a fire for nighttime, maybe starting to think about setting up camp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea because this is New Woods. We don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
We probably don't want to go too far in the dark.
Mm-hmm. Smart in this land. Okay, yeah, weather's pretty nice, but fire's probably not the worst idea. Do you plan to all sleep at the same time, or do you want to set up a watch, or how do you want to do that?
We can do maybe 2 hours. 2 hours on.
Each?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that work with everybody?
Yep.
Aye,
I'll start first because I wanted to map out some of the stars in this area, so I'll take first watch.
Works for me. I'm going to bed.
Okay, I'll go. I'll go after Oighre because I dig the night and quiet. So.
Right on. Our hero. I'm going to bed. That's awesome.
I guess I'll go next so Adrik can get a nap.
He probably needs one. I mean, it's been a tough day. That's cool. So Oighre, you said you're mapping some stars?
Yes.
Awesome. You're in a good place to do that. So you've got pretty thick forest on either side of the road that you're following, but overhead it's not covering. It's pretty wide overhead, so you've got a pretty good view. You can do that. That's a cool idea. Otherwise, apart from that, the night is going to pass without incident, unless there's anything you want to stop me and do while you're doing your watch.
Nope.
Good.
No, nothing
Unless
specific.
something happens. Yep. I think we're
All right. Right on. Yeah. So you did notice, however, and you might share with each other in the morning, you did notice that by the time you had stopped to make camp and had your fire and everything, had something to eat, all that kind of good stuff, the traffic had stopped. There wasn't anybody else coming and going in this particular part of the road.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. So you continue on the next day. Again, we can pretty much speed through this unless there's anything in particular you wish to do. Traveling all of that day, that's going to get you, at a brisk clip, you're looking at 25 to 30 miles or so. Not too bad. You're all healthy and adventurous, so not too bad there. Next night's not going to pass, the next night will pass without any major incident. The following morning, again, just go ahead and jump in anytime if there's something you want that you think you want to do in between. Following morning, by this point now the woods are getting a lot thicker, and you're definitely not recognizing the species. Like if your land was more like maple, this is more pine, or whichever. A lot thicker, starting to grow overhead a little bit more. You can still see fine, but the sun definitely it's a lot more shady than it was back in your neck of the woods, so to speak. You also have noticed as you break camp this particular morning, that you do hear the sounds of a river not too far away. Sounds like it's on your, well, let's see, it would be on your right. You can't see it from the road. The road, you are still on a road. It's relatively well maintained in that it's dirt and it's been compacted down pretty well. It hasn't been graveled or anything, but it's definitely worn. It's definitely used. So yeah, that's where you're at. Anything else before I continue?
I guess, do we have water? Like, do we each have water?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you're outfitted for probably at least a week's journey.
Okay.
Like, just as a baseline.
And that's the other thing I would think of if we hit a river, if we want to go and check it and see if we want to like fill up any water we've used the last couple of days, because goodness knows if we'll see a river again, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can do that, no problem. So the river, you like, so you go off to your right, which is going to be to the south, and you find a beautiful, beautiful river. It's a good, I don't know, 30, 40 feet wide. It's not rapids, but it's definitely moving.
Mm-hmm.
That's, obviously you could hear it. Water looks really clean. You don't see anything in particular that's upsetting, so you can fill up your water there. Headed that direction. If you were to continue south, that's not the direction you're traveling. You're traveling east at the moment. The road goes east. And you are starting to come into an area of hills that are then further back grow into larger mountains. So you're kind of not quite in a valley at the moment, but it feels like you're starting to kind of head into one pretty wide valley.
Okay.
Not like a narrow kind of thing, but definitely some mountains and hills going up to the north and the south. About midday this is your third day of travel now, you are starting to see more people on the road again. They are, again, you feel like you're seeing a lot of farmer type of folks, a lot of wagons with produce, vegetables, things like that. Let's get some dice going here.
Let's do this.
And show me everybody. Make sure I know what I'm doing. Everybody's gonna roll a perception. So you're looking at your passive wisdom, your perception roll under your senses.
Okay.
Everybody got that?
Yep.
Which one is the perception?
It's under saving throws on the character sheet. Passive.
Which dice?
Passive.
The 20?
Yeah, passive wisdom or perception.
Okay.
So you want to get that or higher. Everybody go ahead and roll.
D20, right?
D20, yep.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go for your roll.
And tell me what you got.
All right, I got 15.
Ooh, I got 19.
Ooh,
I got
hey.
18.
I got 5.
Of course you did.
Welcome to D&D. Okay, so I'm assuming Adrik did not make his perception roll. Did everybody else make it?
Yes.
Sounds like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And
We'll take up the slack.
yeah. He's probably, I don't know what you're doing, but you're just poking around in your mug or something, so you noticed none of this.
Digging in my bag, I'm running very low on alcohol on this trip. I did
Oh,
not-
Heads in the bag.
Are you sweating yet?
I'm curious, Vadania, how much did you make yours by? Because it sounded like you rolled the highest, 19?
Yeah, mine was 13 on my
Nice.
character sheet.
Mine's
Okay.
18. Yeah.
Oh, you rolled 18?
Yeah.
Okay. And just so we do this all, let's see. That's everybody's already put in their bonuses and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Just checking. Awesome. So everybody but Adrik notices with this the people that you're kind of passing. They're going back and forth. You're coming out of. You're not coming out of the woods, but the woods are starting to kind of recede a little bit as the road opens up into some farmland. Now, beyond the farmland, you can still see woods, and you can still see the hills and the mountains kind of in the distance that are rising up, but entering a lot of farmland on either side of the road. And the thing that you notice is, and whether it jumps out at you or not, kind of up to you, but you do notice that nobody seems put off by your varied appearances. You've only got one human, right? And everybody else looks a little different. right? Particularly the Dragonborn, that's going to stick out in most places you go. But the people on the road are kind of like, they notice you, like they see you. There's one or two who might give you a nod. No one's saying hello, but they're not like giving you, the evil eye or anything either. So that's just kind of interesting. You might have otherwise expected at least some kind of reaction, particularly to this Dragonborn, but nobody seems to be bothered. They seem kind of not bored, but tired. Like most of the people you pass just seem haggard and just a little exhausted. So, anything you want to do at this point, or keep rolling?
Can I walk up to one of them and just ask them, like, if they see a lot of travelers come this way?
Yes. So we've got, as you're walking, there's a cart going past. It's going pretty slow, and you're able to kind of walk alongside. Looks like presumably a husband and wife or something. It's a man and a woman anyway, human, riding this one-horse cart. They've got some, corn or something in the back there that they're hauling. And the woman, the human female, there kind of looks down at you as you say that. Kind of hesitates, like checking you out, Dragonborn, like, okay. And then kind of rustles into her shawl a little bit and says, oh yeah, we get lots of travelers, eh? Not like you, though, if you don't mind my saying.
Yeah, no. How many other travelers have you seen come by here? Like, can you give me an estimate?
The guy driving goes, just kind of grunts, like, and she gives him a little elbow and says, 3 here, 4 there, a few this week, a few that week. They come and they go.
Did they ever say what they were doing or where they were going?
When you ask that, she kind of looks around. I mean, there's not a lot to look at, but she still seems a little more, she tenses up a little bit. And she's looking at you, but then she looks at you for a second, she's not answering, and then she looks at everybody else. Kind of at this, checking everybody out. Kind of looks like maybe sizing you up a little bit. And she kind of leans over the cart a little bit as you're still walking, and she goes, "It's the caves."
The caves. Okay.
We should be going. We should be going. And the guy kind of snaps his straps, and the horse takes off a little bit quicker.
All right.
And all of you heard that.
Adrik, get your head out of your bag.
What?
Come on, we gotta talk here.
He's out of it.
About what?
Have you not noticed that no one is surprised by us coming on this road?
No.
For goodness sake.
It seemed like they were like almost in a trance.
Yeah, I was able to talk to one of them, and they said that they've seen several travelers come here before. Different groupings, 3 or 4, none of my kind, but a lot of different travelers, but they were very hesitant to say that they were going to the caves. So this rumor, where were we going?
Intelligence rolls for everybody. Or, oh wait, I'm sorry, not just, that's my old school. We're gonna do insight. Passive wisdom, insight. It's probably the same, close to the same number as the other one.
Insight, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll that.
I do not have good insight.
I did not hit it. I got a 10.
No on Nitro.
I got a 20. That's 20.
I got 4.
Oh my gosh.
What, 4?
19.
Another 19. And did you say 4?
Yeah, 4.
He's drinking too much.
So I didn't get it. Cross didn't get it. Or
Okay.
Adrik didn't get it.
At least I'm not alone this night.
What Vadania and Oighre catch, which is because Oighre said it, and then almost as soon as you said it, both of you were like, wait a sec, this is the first time anyone has mentioned caves. Nobody back at your town mentioned anything about caves. They mentioned the keep. They didn't mention caves.
Well, I think this is probably a place we do need to go to.
Why?
Because think about it. All these travelers are going here, but yet they never return. And obviously something is scaring these people to death about the caves. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to mention it.
Like a dragon?
But
Hey.
I
can handle that.
we're kind of on a mission here that's got nothing to do with caves.
How do you know?
I want to go up to one of the village people and ask them what's in the cave. What's in the cave?
So they're doing YMCA?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It just jumped out. I couldn't let it go.
The village.
I just got that. I was like, what is he talking about? Oh, got it.
Okay,
Joke grenade.
Those guys.
No, it's okay.
There's still
like I want to pick a villager that's off to the side that wasn't privy to that conversation to kind of try to catch him off guard if I can.
As you're walking, you will pass a young woman who is kind of off the side of the road, 10 or 20 feet. Let's say probably doing like shucking corn or something like that. So yeah, she would not have been there.
Madam, I've got a weird question.
All right.
I've heard something of caves in the area.
Instant reaction.
Do you know anything about them, and what can you tell me about them?
Soon as you say caves, she just like bolts up and looks at you like you're freaking crazy, and then goes back to work. It's like, what about him? You're just gonna die like the rest.
What is in the caves? What or who is in the caves?
Evil. Just evil. Go back. And she picks up her basket and like almost runs practically into the field.
All right, so I just talked to a villager over there who wasn't privy to the previous conversation. She was pretty freaked out when I mentioned the whole cave thing.
Well, that's how the other villagers handled me, too.
Yeah.
We need to go there. And hero, if you really were one, you'd go in and see what was in these caves.
First of all, I resemble that remark. Second of all, what good has it got to do us to go into this cave of evil and get ourselves killed? We're literally on a mission here to rescue someone who has been kidnapped.
And you don't think she's in the caves?
Nothing suggesting caves before.
Did
Let's get
anybody
nothing to do
ask
with
if
it.
she was in the cave?
Well,
As
ask the
you're walking-
long-haired guy. He's the one that had the flyer.
No, it was not on the flyer. As you're walking, you are now starting to see a building in the distance, very large. It's not a castle, but it is a keep, so it's kind of a very... it doesn't have the breadth of a castle with a wall and all that kind of stuff, but it's more of... it's definitely a walled small town with a large square, or rather rectangle, I suppose, shaped column that represents that is the actual keep. Gray stone, whatever. There's a lot more activity there. You can see people. Looks like as you're getting closer to it, there's a little road that goes off to the north, off to your left, that leads right to the main gate. Looks like it's got drawbridge, portcullis, the whole nine, like you've seen in every movie, right? And lots of people coming in and out that way, presumably trading or doing whatever it is they do. But that would definitely ring your bell, like, oh, the keep, that's probably the building they were talking about. That's the place they were talking about. So you're coming up on the fork in the road right now to that. So the road to the north will take you right to the keep. The main road you were on continues east, and the woods, probably, I don't know, like a few football fields, soccer fields down, starts to kind of overgrow again. So right now you're bright, sunny, shiny, right around lunchtime. It's a lovely day out, and that's where you're at, is that fork in the road.
So the caves are in the opposite direction of the keep, is Is that what we're saying? Or we don't know where the caves are?
You don't know where the caves are.
Okay.
You have no. This whole thing about caves is brand new information. You were specifically told about the keep, and that the keep had been under construction when the Minotaur came and took this girl. And that is almost certainly, you followed the right road as far as you know. Like, there weren't a lot of branches off this road, so to the best of your knowledge, that is the place that you can go to find more information.
I start marching towards the keep.
All right.
Oh, for goodness sake, Adrik.
What?
Why does this sound like not a good idea?
We have to tread carefully. We're in a new land, and as a Dragonborn, people don't usually take different kinds of people lightly.
Aye, it's a Dragonborn. I ain't a Dragonborn.
I don't trust Keith.
The keep is where she was kidnapped from. It was the last place this Minotaur was seen. And the choice is either go up to that keep or go for a walk in the woods to goodness knows where. For no reason.
Alright.
You don't even know if that leads to your freaking cave that you're looking for. I'm going to the keep.
Tread lightly.
I agree with the drunk dwarf. I really think we should.
Thank you.
I mean, let's be honest. That's exactly what this mission is, right? It's the keep. And that's the only information that we know of. So as much as I hate to admit it, he's right.
Let's just
So
tread
let's-
lightly, everyone.
Let's follow the dwarf.
Yep.
Everybody
There you
follow
go.
the door. All right.
You know it makes sense.
I'm curious. I'm gonna go ahead and give Adrik an insight just to make myself laugh.
You enjoy me making insight checks too
I'm
much.
just curious. I want to see what happens.
Blindly unaware.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, then insight no. 18.
Nice.
18.
Ooh.
Awesome. So you definitely notice, because the other three, I'm picking on you because it's more fun.
You guys wanted me to roll another 4. That's what you wanted.
I was curious. Not gonna lie. You do notice that, and it's kind of disgruntling. Like, there's a lot more people around now as you're nearing the entrance to the keep, and like they're not cheering for you. It's like, this is really unsettling. Like, I'm used to walking and everybody, ah! And like they're not doing that. And it's kind of a bummer. That's all. You just notice that. Nobody else would notice
Of course,
that.
that's what I got an 18 on, was me fricking if I got hero worshipped or not.
Okay, so you enter. I presume you're entering the keep together. Again, big portcullises raised, drawbridges down. You've got a moat there. There are some armed guards, kind of at the entrance to the keep, as well as above in the parapets. Crossbows, chainmail armor, that kind of thing. They are wearing colors that you don't recognize. Not that you don't recognize the colors, but they're wearing.
Sigils.
That are not of your kingdom, for sure. And they're, not rude or eyeballing you or anything, but you see them seeing you. They have marked you, they have seen you. You kind of stand out, but they're not giving you any trouble at the moment. As you cross through the gatehouse, you've got sort of a large central courtyard. Part of it is taken up by sort of a, I guess what, for lack of a better term, would be like a gazebo, something you see in a town square, with, it's covered and has benches, all that kind of stuff. You don't see any grass. It's mostly dirt. It looks like there may have been some attempt to put flagstones down in the central courtyard, and it was kind of abandoned maybe. A lot of the courtyard is taken up by sort of a street fair, farmer's market, type of thing, with tents and people selling and trading, that kind of thing. Just about anything you could think of is somewhere in this this large crowd of different stalls and things like that. But Adrik, and I'm going to still be your extra 18 since you rolled an 18. One of the first things you notice off to the side is the tavern. Like, boop, like almost instinctively, there it is, that's the tavern. And you see a couple people outside there kind of coming in and out. And you all 4 of you smell really, really good food, and it's definitely coming from that direction. Beyond the gazebo and the sort of street fair is where the tower begins. That looks like not the most welcoming place, comparatively. And I turn it back over to you.
Okay, we need to get some questions answered here.
Mm-hmm.
You guys go and find some officials. I'm going to go talk to the barkeep.
Of course you are. Should someone come with you to keep an eye on you?
Yeah, I'll come. I'll go with
Are
him.
you splitting up?
All right.
Are you sticking together?
I'll go.
Me and Vadania. All right. Me and Vadania will kind of see if anyone else will talk, like within the courtyard, or just kind of. Are we able just to kind of maybe like people watch and just kind of see what they're doing, how they're reacting to us or to like each other?
Sure. Okay, so we're gonna have so Vadania and Ori, you're gonna kind of split off and sort of wander the fair, the stalls, all that kind of stuff, see what happens there, and the guys are going into the bar.
And we can make a plan to come back together within 30 minutes, an hour, so something like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Sure, that sounds doable. Maybe.
Yeah.
I was gonna say at least we know where he'll be, so we won't lose him. So
you know what?
We don't even need a plan.
Yeah.
Right. That's good. Okay, so then Vadania and Ori. So the mood has changed a little bit in the fair, we'll call it, or the market, from what it was outside the walls of the keep. But let's do, both of you go ahead and do an insight check.
Uh, 19.
I got a 6.
Ooh, okay. That's okay. So, Ori, you might pick up on this a little bit more, maybe because you're the Dragonborn, I don't know. But the mood has changed a little bit in as much that people at the market are, I mean, you guys have been to like a Comic-Con, right? Or a game, something like that. And you know how everybody behind their table is like, hey, how's it? It's like that. Like, so they're definitely like reaching out to you and showing you other stuff. Hey, you look like you could use some boots, and all this kind of stuff. Or try my, corn bread, I don't know, stuff. So they're marketing, they're doing their shtick, right? But there's still that underlying, like, it's not behind the eyes. Like, they're just doing it because they have to do it. So you definitely notice that as you're going around. And you're an elf, right? Okay. They again don't seem surprised necessarily to see a Dragonborn, and you both definitely get the sense, we got an elf and a Dragonborn kind of walking around, like they've seen stuff like this before. Okay. Now you also notice there aren't any others of you. This is very distinctly a human settlement. So it's a little, maybe they're just like, hey, there's more of us than there are of you, so whatever. Or maybe it's something else, you can't tell, but they don't seem particularly put off or shocked, or even threatened necessarily by either one of them.
Interesting.
So you think about that. I'm going to cross over to the guys, and if there's anything else you want to do when we come back, go ahead and jump in. So you guys enter the tavern. It's relatively busy for lunch. There's a couple of open tables. One of the first little small tables you pass is an old guy who's wearing relatively decent clothes, long white beard, just old as rope. And you see him kind of notice you as you walk in. Human, again, everybody in the tavern is human. It's fairly well lit. Bartender behind there, you've got a couple of younger serving wenches, if you will, and then a couple of older women also serving. It's a low murmur. It's not a very exciting or excited place, but people are talking and having conversations. Most everybody seems to kind of notice you and go about their business. You guys definitely don't stick out as much as your friends do, so that's not super surprising. As you get to the bar, I assume that's where you're going first, is right up to the bar?
Yep.
Yep.
So go right up to the bar and can we get 2 drinks over here?
Bartender at the end is like, yeah, he's got you. He's coming. He's got some other stuff going on. So as you're waiting for him to come over and serve you, the doors open and a couple of dwarves walk in, and they have seen better days. Both of them are bandaged up. I'm going to go ahead and say also, just for clarity's sake, that Vadania and Oighre, you also notice these two dwarves outside and see them going into the pub. Various weapons, shields, hammers, axes, all that kind of stuff, but both of them are bandaged up. Both of them have been bleeding recently, and they walk in. So Vadania and Oighre, you see them, go into the bar. You guys see them just as they're coming in, and you kind of see everybody turn to look at them the way they turn to look at you, only instead of turning away, everybody kind of stays locked on them, and it gets a little quiet. One of the older serving women, much older woman, is handing somebody some food, and she stops and looks up at them too, looks from one to the other. One of them, I'm not gonna make him roll. One of them, still standing in the doorway, just kind of shakes his head a couple times, and the older woman just screams, just absolutely, just freaks out. One of the younger women rushes over to her and puts an arm around her and takes her out of the room into like a back storage area behind the bar. At which point everyone kind of turns away, goes back to their food, doesn't say anything, and the dwarves take a table off to the side. And you're still waiting for the bartender was a part of that all too. He sees it and goes back to what he was doing.
Horen, you wait for our drinks, give me a second. And
Right.
make my way over to them. I'll walk over to the dwarfs and speak to them in Dwarfish.
Mm-hmm.
Hey there, fellas. What was that about?
Let me get to my guys here. Wraithjaw, Merrymaker. We lost our son.
What happened?
It's the damn caves. They're taking everyone.
What is it with these caves? This is like the third time today I've heard about these caves.
When you say that, they look at each other, look up at you, like, you've not heard of them?
No, I've been a few towns over.
Well, sit down.
Aye, sure. It's like I kind of look over at Horen and I just kind of like nod them just to stay there, because I don't want it to throw anything off with the conversation.
All right.
And I sit down with Dave. I kind of wait for the bartender, like when my drink's ready, just to kind of bring it over to me, because I don't want to interrupt this, because this might be something worthwhile.
Okay. Well, as you're doing that, bartender you see he's getting a plate thing, dish, what do you call it, whatever you put mugs on. Tray. Thank you. Be here all night. Putting the tray together. He puts 2 mugs on it, sees you over there, grabs another one, puts it on, and runs it over to the table where you are, and doesn't take a genius to figure out like he was coming to serve them. And then you're there, so cool, you get one too. And as he's coming back to Horen, like, yeah, gotcha, and grabs something for you, brings it over to you. Doesn't really say anything, just kind of slides it over to you. Back at the table, let's see who we've got. So they introduce themselves as Wraithjaw and Merrymaker.
Wraithjaw and Merrymaker?
Yep. So, now we'll bring it out. Feels so bad.
It's not bad.
Is it? Thank you.
I don't think it is, but I'm not Scottish, so what are you gonna do?
Actually, pretty good.
That's not bad, I've heard worse.
All right.
I'm gonna slip in and out of it because I'm so on the spot. Right then. So, about a year ago, the keep was still being built, so we're told. Minotaur came through, tore the place up, made off with this girl named Kath. Lovely child by the sound of it. And since that time, band after band of adventurers have attempted to find and rescue her, but no avail. We keep going, people keep going. Sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't. Sometimes only some of us. That poor woman's son had decided to make a go of it. Did make it past the kobolds. Anyway, northeast of here, about a day's travel, the Caves of Chaos. Clans of creatures, clans of them, all kinds of frightful things, and possibly a wicked, evil, vile priest who services to the undead. They're all in there. It's madness. And the other guy says, it's madness except for 1,000 gold pieces. Like, alright, yeah, 1,000, that's not so bad. Turns out, the girl's mother, name is Sasha. So Sasha once used to serve this queen, and thus the queen got a little interested in it. So it's the queen's money, but the queen's not got time to go into it. So she posts the reward. Nobody's gotten it so far. Anybody who can bring the Minotaur in, 1,000 gold pieces. But frankly, I think I'm done. And then they shut it.
What happened to you fellas?
Oh Christ, we went in. We were doing alright, and then there was a pit. I fell right into it, didn't even see it coming. Dropped right in, got out, surrounded by kobolds. And they killed off poor lad. Their damn swords and spears. We better got out of there was too many of them. Not our best day.
I'm glad to see you boys are doing alright, and
Aye.
Reservations to your failed effort. This round's on me. I'll pay for a round for drinks for you.
Aye.
You fellas rest up. Thank you for the information. Me and some of my associates might be heading that way, but thank you for the information.
Alright. Lessons on you.
Awesome. Hopefully if everything goes to plan, I'll maybe see you on our way back. Victory or failure, hopefully we'll make it back.
Good.
I shake hands with them and I leave a few gold pieces for them for a round of drinks.
Okay.
And I head back over to Horen and I tell him everything that they told me.
Okay. Let me cut back to Vadania and Oighre. What are you guys up to?
Basically, after I saw the doors kind of go in, I try to scan the crowd to see if anyone's whispering or if anyone's talking or kind of hush-hush. Do I see anybody just kind of trying to talk or mingle or just kind of fade in the background with whispering or anything?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you do. You happen to be near a blacksmith stall of sorts, selling weapons in particularly, and you do know there's a few other people who kind of notice them coming through the crowd, but this particular group, it's two men, and they kind of stop what they're doing and watch and shake their heads and mutter a little bit to each other and go back to work sharpening knives and blades and whatnot.
Okay, I want to go up to them and ask them about the dwarves. Who are they?
Oh. Yeah, that's the latest party. They must have lost a lad. They left here, what was it, 3 days ago, off to the caves. And only 2 came back. Not surprising. Have you seen this lovely longsword?
That's beautiful. So you say a lot of people come here, but then they go to the caves. What's in these caves, and why are people going into them?
Well, the caves, of course, last are where I'm sorry, he might not say that because I don't know if he would know that. So, rewind that a little bit. Far as anyone knows, that's where the Minotaur lives, but he's not the only one, you see. Tons of creatures out there, tons of them. I think they're gonna come here one day. We need to get these damn walls built up a bit bigger. Shut up. We'll be fine. We'll be alright. Anyway, yeah. There's a whole mess of caves out there, and every one of them's populated with something, but in one of those caves is 1,000 gold pieces. Not for me. I'm not going.
Alright. Has anyone else, non-human, live here, or is it all... Because, I feel like the dwarves were the first 2 of a different kind, if you know my meaning, that come in here. Or
Not for any length of time. I mean, we get a few elves coming through, of course, the dwarves. We don't see many of your kind, though, but once or twice in a great while. Very impressive scales, by the way. Very
Oh,
nice.
thank you.
But they stay. They go to the caves. They don't come back. That's generally the way of things. Whether they die out there or they just move on, I don't know. But they don't live in the area, so to speak. Not too much. Not too much. I've got a broadsword you might be interested in, though. This is a thing of beauty. This is a gorgeous piece right here.
Oh, that is lovely. Very lovely.
Is there anything in here that can help us in the caves?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, help you in the cave. Well, there's the broadsword. I recommend that to all of my clients. Kind of goes off on he's like just talking about all this stuff. You don't see or hear anything that's like, oh yeah, we need that. He's doing the hard sell.
Yeah, it's okay. We have a dwarf that takes care of much of anything. So, how long have you lived in this area then? And how long ago was the attack on the keep?
Oh, let's see. So, well, the area, I mean, the village has been here for generations. The farms have been here for generations upon generations. And then the keep was built by the queen, because on top of all this, locally, then of course we've got this brewing war off to the east with whatever the hell they're called. So the queen's got her hands full with that, so she wanted to have an outpost, so she builds the keep, but unfortunately builds it too close to this caves of chaos, and all hell breaks loose. So yeah, we've been here for quite a while. My family goes back several generations now.
Okay. All right.
Have you seen
So
these daggers?
this place has never been peaceful then, since you've been here.
No, I wouldn't call it that. We've had troubles.
But Danya, I think we're gonna have to go into the caves. Let's go meet back with the boys. Let them know.
If you need any blades, don't forget. Come on back anytime.
Oh, I'm sure we won't, but thank you so much.
So I'm talking to Adrik at the moment, and I know he mentioned something about kobolds, because he mentioned that several times to me when he was remembering the conversation he had with the dwarves, and I seem to recall that kobolds kind of like are they kind of guard like treasure and stuff like that. Is that the case?
Let me see. We've got Horen. You are a human. Was it not bard, but
druid? Druid.
Let's have you roll some. Is that history?
Because I've heard of kobolds, but I'm not 100% sure what they are.
Right. Okay. So, give me 1 second. You're still. Let's see. My screen is still on the map, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't see anything I'm doing else over here.
No,
right?
no. You're good.
that would ruin things. Okay. Yeah. So Horen, I'm gonna have you do a. Feels like nature to me. I'm gonna have you go ahead and do a nature check.
Okay.
So you're rolling your 20 and then adding 4.
Right.
Give me a second. Don't tell me what it is. Hold on. I'm gonna do. And you were on a 6. So I'm gonna give you this. Okay. Go. If you have you rolled?
Yeah, I got a nat 20, and my nature is +4.
20. That's just so. What you're discovering, everyone, is this is how the game works. When you need to roll something that's sort of unimportant, 20s all night, baby. As soon as the dragon shows up, 1s across the board. That's just the nature of the game. You get used to it. Okay, so 24. So you wrote a book about kobolds once, it turns out, with a roll like that. So you may not have encountered them necessarily in your travels, but you do know that they tend to and prefer caves and nighttime. They're not big fans of the sun. They do travel in packs, some small, but some can be fairly large. And they are excellent trap makers. If both of you want to roll a perception on that.
Yeah, go on. I could use a laugh.
Yeah, go on with your perception.
I got a 3.
17.
17. So, and presumably Horen, you are sort of filling Adrik in on this as you go. Like, okay, this is what I've heard about kobolds. And so that ties in. What you catch is that the dwarves mentioned a pit and falling into a pit and there being kobolds. So the whole trap making thing was like, oh wait, okay, that sounds familiar. That sounds like what they talked about. And as far as you asked about the treasure thing, they definitely are not necessarily guardians of treasure, but they like it. They like it a lot. And they will protect it. They like to hoard it. They think it's shiny and lovely, and they will go to great lengths to do that. They're probably also particularly fond of various gems and jewelry and things like that. They just are fascinated by that kind of stuff. But overall, yeah, one-on-one, you're gonna knock a kobold up and down the street all day long, no problem. 5, 10, 20 on one, you've got a big problem. So that's kind of what you know about them. So as you're kind of wrapping that up, I'm going to have, because Vadania and Oighre, you were coming back in, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm going to have you come in and kind of catch most of this conversation to get kind of filled in, so everyone's kind of on the same page at this point, kind of gathered around the bar together in a group.
So I fill the ladies in on the conversation with the dwarfs. Update them on the cave is what we're looking for the Minotaur. Update them on the kobolds, the trap, the mention of the evil beast and the undead again. Because the second thing that was mentioned, then it's about a day's travel northeast to get there.
Okay. Yeah, me and Vadania found a lovely blacksmith who kept trying to sell us things, but otherwise, I kind of fell in on what he told about just the many different kinds of people going in, the whole outpost, the whole history of the land. I think, guys, this is something that we're probably going to need to do, is go into these caves.
It looks like you get to go into your caves. So that's what's next.
Hey, when I'm right, I'm right.
So. When you're not.
As you're starting to kind of wrap up this conversation, you hear somebody kind of behind you. It's almost a grump. It's not a shout. It's almost this deep grumble that travels like through the ground almost. It's a very, very deep baritone. You hear this voice say, "You're the ones."
Did anyone else feel that or hear that?
Did you say it came from behind us, or?
Yeah, it came from behind you. Let me clarify. It didn't feel supernatural. It was just like, that was a really deep voice.
I turn around to see who's speaking to us.
The old guy that you came in, who was there, who was sitting there as you came in, is kind of sitting back in his chair now, playing with something in his hands, and he's looking at all four of you, and you can't tell his expression because his beard and mustache is just so overgrown and thick. But I'm going to give all of you. Let's do perception rolls again.
I got 19.
19 again. That's just my number.
I got 18.
3.
That was so funny. Dude, that is awesome.
I love this game.
Keep it coming.
This is great.
This is good stuff.
So once again, I don't know what special mug. You're just like,
That's just the mug.
Wow. Refill. What the rest of you notice as this guy is looking at you, is that even though he's like, I mean, he's literally just kind of kicked back in his chair. Now it's not leather or rocking, but you get the like if he could be rocking, he'd be doing this number, just like totally at ease and at ease with himself. When you passed him on the way in, he just looked like this old dude, kind of hunched over and maybe having some steak or whatever, having some lunch. Now that you're looking at him again, and his pose has kind of changed, there's a shift in him, and you suddenly kind of are more aware that his shoulders are he's pretty well stacked up over here, bigger arms. You can see that you're starting to now notice some scars that blend into the wrinkles on his face, and like you just get this very distinct impression this guy's seen some stuff. Like he has been around the block, and maybe not even that long ago. It's just a very clear impression. He might even be smiling ever so slightly, but again, you can't quite tell based on the beard. But he's definitely looking at all four of you it appears that the voice came from him, and as you're recalling what it just sounded like as you turned, it's like, yeah, that's him. Like it just sounds like it came from this guy.
So, Vadania, is that guy smiling at us, our group? Is that creepy old guy in the corner smiling at us?
I can't quite tell, but I definitely know that he's the one who just muttered.
What did he say? Do we know?
You're the ones.
You're the ones.
Is what you heard.
We're the ones that what?
Did you just miss it again?
He said, "You're the ones." I'm asking for clarification on what you're talking about. Do you know what he meant?
No, let's go ask him.
No, so shut it.
Let's go ask him. So I get up and I go ask him.
Is it just you? Who's coming over?
I'll come over. She can't be trusted, apparently.
I think we should all go over.
Let's do it.
Hi, what's your name?
My name's Darrow, and he's got it's almost like James Earl Jones, just this beautifully deep, gorgeous voice. My name's Darrow. Who might you be?
I'm Oighre.
Oighre.
I'm Adrik. What do you mean by you're the ones?
We haven't finished our introductions yet, Adrik.
Calm down, Adrik. There's two other people here.
And he started the conversation by speaking to our bags. Ones. I think clarification is in order.
And as you're saying that, you can see now he's laughing a little bit as you're having this conversation.
If you say we're the ones, you should know who we are.
Well, I don't know your names. I just know your stature. I've developed an eye for it over the years. You're here for the girl, aren't you?
Aye.
There's something different about you. I don't know what it is. I'm not a sorcerer. I'm not a magician. I'm not a soothsayer. There's just something about the way you carry yourselves, the look in your eyes. I think you might do this where everyone else has failed. I really do. Let's go for a walk. What do you say?
I don't know, guys. Do you think this dude is just blowing smoke?
I don't know. Can we trust them? Like, I don't really know this dude. He seems to know us, at least to some extent. I mean, it is 4-1, So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we could take it if anything squirrely happens. But
Don't worry, if anything happens, I'll hit him with a hammer and save you. We'll be fine.
Oh, good lord.
Well, let's do it then.
He is walking out the door. So you guys follow, presume. And he's sort of he's got a very slow stride, but it's not infirm. Like he's walking tall, back straight. He moves like a much younger man. But slow, definitely slow. You also noticed, compared to the way people have treated you so far, the people who notice him either smile a little bit or just a little nod or something. It's very subtle, but it's there. People are acknowledging him as he walks through, and he doesn't move to get out of anybody's way. They just sort of almost magically are going around him, as opposed to him, doing that high school trying to get around people thing, you know. And he's headed straight for the gazebo in the center of the courtyard. At the moment, nobody else is in there, and so he just kind of walks 2 or 3 steps up into it, and he kind of walks up into it, and stands kind of off center, folds his arms, and is kind of just looking out the gate of the walls, the portcullis. And I'm assuming you all join him up there. Is there anything else you want to do?
Let's see.
Yeah, I'll follow after him.
Yeah.
Okay. You're here for the Minotaur. I haven't seen him. My days are done, I'm afraid. But as I said, there's something about the 4 of you that just spoke to me as soon as you walked in. I feel like the gods might favor you on this. It's just a sense. Again, I'm not a magician. I can't promise you anything, but I can tell you what I know to send you on your way. And what I know is this. I've been there, not inside the caves, but I've ventured to the valley of the caves. And there are many, 7, 8, 10, I can't remember exactly, but there are several. And unfortunately, what nobody knows is where each one goes, or what's inside each one. Now, smart money is that in one of those caves is the beast that took our little calf. Yes, he kind of stops for a second there, gathers himself up. I'd give anything to be the one going back in. Anyway, multiple caves, and he's in one of them. Nobody knows which one, but I guarantee you there is something bad and something evil in each and every one of them. And the people who can clear those things out, the people who can bring the Caves of Chaos to heal, they will be remembered, and remembered well.
How long have you been here?
Here at the keep.
Yeah.
Since the construction. So, over a year now or so.
Did you actually see the kidnapping happen?
No, I didn't see it. I heard it. I could hear it from my window, but it was all over by the time I could get there.
If you'll forgive my asking, why didn't you go into the caves? You seem like a man of decent size, stature, and prowess.
Steps back a little bit, lifts up his tunic, and there is just this scar, like it's gnarly, like from shoulder to waist. It's gross, old, but gross. It says, I got maybe 5 minutes in me at a time. As I said, my day's done. No offense taken. Not going to make you roll. You do notice at that point that he does not appear to be armed in any way that you've seen so far.
There's a knight at the gazebo, is that what you said?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
you're inside it, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, we have a few hours to sundown. You cannot go there at night. You must go at daybreak. I'd be happy to put you up in the tavern for the evening if you'd like. But I understand if not. But please, for the love of all that is good, do not approach the caves in the dark, whatever you do. That is the best advice I can give you.
So they talked about the beasts that lurk on the outside, like to go at night. So he does have some truth there.
Aye, we'll spend the night here. We'll take you up in your offer if everyone's okay with that.
Yep.
I'll go arrange it. Whenever you're ready, just let the barkeep know. I'll go take care of it. And good luck to you.
Thank you.
This town needs heroes. And he steps off the gazebo and starts headed back towards the bar.
Well, guys, I think we have our new heading.
Aye.
So we're gonna set off first light.
Yep.
Is that what we're
Let's
doing?
get some sleep.
Let's do it. I'm gonna sleep outside.
You would.
Of course, yes.
All right, so unless there's anything else in particular you want to do, whenever you head back into the tavern, which has a sort of a boarding house on top on the second floor, you find that there are 2 rooms set aside for you under Darrow's name. Barkeep's more than happy to get you set up, send you food, whatever. Sounds like he's kind of opened a tab of sorts for you.
Okay.
And the barkeep seems a little bit more. He wasn't like a jerk earlier, but now that you're dropping Darrow's name, he's like, oh yeah, oh hey, anything I can do to help? Kind of. He's a little bit more open and warm than he was previously. So you're able to have some hangout time, get some good dinner or whatever, have a good night's sleep. Feels pretty secure. So no issues there unless there's anything in particular you want to do. Get up probably right around daybreak the next morning, come down, have some breakfast if you want. It's all been paid for. You're good to go. You can replenish whatever supplies you need as far as food and water and anything that you needed. Pretty much good to go. You are going to have to walk again. That's the only drawback. And so it's going to be at least a solid day to get there, or pretty close. So you might have to end up breaking it up if you don't want to get there at night, like to the caves. You can probably even actually procure a very rough hand-drawn sketch of the road and the caves and kind of things to look for. Although based on the drawing, you can't miss it. Like, you're going to be going along the road. It's going to be forest, and then after a day and a half, off to your left, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see exactly what everybody's been talking about. So it shouldn't be too hard. Can't really miss it by the sound of it. Questions, comments?
Nope, I think we're good.
Vadania doesn't look too like, I don't know.
I was like, here we
Going
go.
on. I'm just winging it.
Okay. Hey, so am I. So it's all good. Okay, so off you merrily go. You do notice, not even notice, but like as you're leaving, Darrow is there that morning by the gate as it's going up, and you guys are coming through, and he's giving you a wave and saying, "Blessings to you, blessings to you. See you soon." And off you go. So you follow the road. It's a little short road out of the keep, and then you're back onto the main road where you were the day before, and you're just walking east. Seems a little colder than it was yesterday as you continue to head east, particularly once you get past all of the farmland, and the forest starts to encroach a little bit more, and the road starts to narrow a little bit. You are not passing anybody really either direction. No one's going, gaining on you, and no one's coming the other direction. You are hearing, as you travel, you're hearing noises in the woods from different bird calls and things like that you do not recognize. You're not threatened by them at the moment, but they're different. They're just not back home, A little bit more cloudy today as you're walking, so you can still see okay, but there's definitely this overcast kind of thing, and it's a mood depressant. Like, it just feels heavy and like, I don't know about this, The woods, however, do smell lovely. All the pine scent and everything. Like, it's just like your lungs feel like they're expanding every time you take a breath. It just smells absolutely wonderful. That's your first day. Based on the map, it looks like you're okay to probably camp out tonight so that you can get to the caves early the next day. So unless there's anything you want to do, we can skip ahead to that.
Yeah, just skip ahead, I think.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're able to camp out. Again, taking turns, staying up through the night to keep watch. Nothing unusual. Like, it's almost at this point, by the time everybody's up the next morning, it's almost like, would something happen? Like, oh my god, it's just, please. The tension is just building at this point. And off you go down the road again. About 3 or 4 hours into your walk, the atmosphere definitely changes. You can't put a finger on it, but it's just like, if you've ever walked into a place that like some stuff had happened and you just get that chill, like, I don't like this at all. Can't quite figure out what it is. And another 20, 30 minutes into that, the smell kind of changes. You're like, whoa, where's my lovely scent of pine? Like, that's gone, even though you're still surrounded by trees. Little bit of death in the air, just rotting and some blood in there maybe. Like, it's definitely not cool at all. And then almost suddenly, as you're kind of turning a slight bend in the road to the left, you see, no question, what everybody's been talking about. These are without a doubt the Caves of Chaos. And what you have off to your left, as you kind of turn to face them now, is a valley, very much a small valley, in that it's probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 or 6 football fields, soccer fields wide where you are, and there are cliffs, rock faces kind of going up, and creating sort of a bowl of sorts, or a half bowl, and scattered about at different areas and different heights are cave mouths. There's still some vegetation on the valley floor, trees, bushes, things like that, and it goes pretty far. You can't even see quite to this level where you're at. You can see the top of the valley, but you can't see what might be dead ahead, another quarter mile, half mile ahead. So it's almost like, I don't want to say honeycombed, because that would be too many, but just standing here kind of taking count, you're looking at, I don't know, I forget because I didn't write it down, at least 10 cave mouths kind of scattered about, again at different heights. Any questions about that, what you're looking at?
Is there any way that we can kind of figure out a way to like gut instinct which one we should go into, like, or are we just guessing here?
At the moment, you've got absolutely nothing.
Okay.
Different sizes, different shapes.
Which one has the most bodies outside of it? Can we see
What's
like
that?
different bodies or like destruction? Like, what besides the caves?
Or traffic.
Is there anything else? Yeah.
So no, that's the thing. From where you're standing, just a little bit off the road, no, there's nothing there. You just see the valley, the rock, and the caves, and the smell is a little bit worse now, but you can't. It's everywhere. You can't really pinpoint a direction, and it's quiet. It's just like eerily quiet right now.
What does everybody think? Which one should we choose? We obviously got to go in, right? This is the entire reason why we're here. So which one? I mean, what do we do? We're gonna take a vote. We're just gonna pick one. What do we do?
I don't think your guess is as good as mine here.
Yeah.
The odds are not in our favor.
No. All right. So is there one that is closest to us? Okay.
Yes.
I'm assuming that's a dumb question, but you know what I mean.
Yep, no, I got you. Yeah, to your right, if you kind of follow the base of the valley, you will run into the closest cave, which is probably a couple football fields away, about 200 yards or so. Yeah.
All right, so just start with the first cave then.
Yep. Let's start with
Alrighty. Off we go.
All right.
Let's do it. I think we should. So obviously we're not at the cave yet. So I mean, I feel like we should start getting our stuff ready, like our torches and stuff.
Probably a good idea.
Maybe get your rope out if you need it. A weapon if you have it.
Yeah, if you want to draw weapons, prepare. Whatever you think you need to do. This would be the time to do it for sure.
Okay, cool.
I don't need a torch.
Oh yeah, you have night sense, you jerk.
I was going to say, it's like, I carry my hammer and I've got dark vision, I'm good.
Got it. All right. Oh, I got it. Yeah, I need my Conan the Barbarian music, man.
Dude, heck yeah.
That is the stuff. Yeah, right on. Okay, so you're now how stealthy are you trying to be at this point? Or are you just like, we're going, forget it?
No, I think we should go slow and methodical. Because
Yeah.
if there is as much danger and evil as people have stressed to us,
We definitely want to be cautious.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe not talking very loud, just kind of
Why'd you look at me when you say that?
like a dwarf. Your voice echoes.
It's true.
Alright, by all means, Dragonborn, go into the underground. Why don't you? Not like I'm an expert or anything.
Which brings up the question, in what order would you want to be in as you're traveling at this point?
I think Adrik goes first.
And now you want the dwarf to go first. Alright,
I don't mind going first
There we go.
Elf
There we
can go
go.
first.
because I can see.
That's right. That makes
Better
sense.
than y'all can.
That makes
All
sense.
right,
Because she has the
we're
night
sending
vision.
Oighre
Yeah.
first,
Yep, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I'll pull up the rear. I don't mind.
Yeah, I'm a dwarf.
and then Adrik, and then Vadania.
Or Ori. I think Vadania's first, right?
Yeah, Vadania's first, and then Adrik.
Oh, sorry.
And
Yep,
then Ori, and then
Alright, well,
Yeah.
if Vadania's
Or-
going first, why don't I go in last then? Because it's probably good to have someone at the back with dark vision as well, in case something gets in
Yeah.
behind us.
that works.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so I've got Vadania, Ori, Horen,
And then Adrik.
and Adrik.
Females go first. Hoorah.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
so I'm gonna light up my
Let's-
torch as we go into the mouth of the cave. If we're already
All
going
right.
in.
I'm gonna go ahead and have everybody, just for clarity's sake, let's roll a stealth. See what we get.
All right, I got a nat 20, so I got 22.
Are you serious?
I got a 5.
Ooh, I
Of
got
course you did.
Oh no.
The
What-
Dragonborn
what-
got that one.
what'd you
I'm
get?
stomping.
What'd you get,
Wait,
Vadania?
I rolled a 1, but I have a +5.
You got more than Adrik.
So the two that were sending in first got nat ones.
okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
What did
Oh, I
Ori
got a
roll?
nat 1 -1, so I'm like, really?
I got a
Wow.
20, but I have 2 on stealth, so I got 22.
Okay, so we've got.
I'm not living up to my reputation.
So let me get this right. Vadania's got a 6.
Yes.
Ori has a 0.
Yep, nat 1 and then a -1, so.
Horen's got a 22.
Oh man.
Adrik's got a 5.
So should I trade places with someone?
Oh
See, I
no.
don't feel as bad about this one. I'm not meant to be a stealthy person. It's the rogue getting a nat 1 is like the.
Yay.
She doesn't like being underground.
I don't.
This is not a stealthy mission
No.
that we're on.
Just don't even know where to go with that. That's so awful.
I'm not a wood elf. Gosh.
So the other three of you have no idea where Horen is. He has just disappeared like so stealthily into the rock and bush. Oh my! Like he's like a Navy SEAL. He's just
The
gone.
guy that's in the middle holding a torch disappears.
Disappeared. I don't know how he did it, but nobody knows where this guy is. It's crazy. The rest of you, I mean, first you step on a branch, and then somebody sneezes, and then there's like a little rock slide that happens, and then there's a slit. Like it's just by the time you get to the cave, you're just like, I don't know. Maybe we should go back. It's like
We're here.
you may as well be knocking the door at this point, which entertains me, and that's what's important here. So, you reach the cave. Horen appears magically again. Like, what? Come on, what the? Man, you guys know how loud you are? Wow. You reach the cave, and there's definitely an odor coming out of it. Meaty, kind of, that yeah, it's not quite death, but it's gross and not very fun at all. As you're kind of peeking in there, it is dark. You do not see any light at all. It's just this big dark cave, and it just gets black, and that's it. No telling how far. Do you wish to stay in the same order you were in? I'm going to give you one chance to make up. I'm just asking if you want to stay in that order or not.
I feel like having two dark vision capping the group is still a good idea.
I tend to think so. Okay, so ball's in your court.
Should I man the rear, or should we keep it the way it is?
I don't think it makes much of a difference. Both of us are about as stealthy as each other, so...
All right, then.
So, alright, my claustrophobia is kicking in because I don't like closed-in spaces.
So that's a good point. The cave, I mean, you're definitely going to feel that.
Yeah.
The cave entrance itself is probably about as large as a double door, as a standard kind of double door, and about that tall and about that wide. So it's cramped. You know, it's not happy, but you can move. You've got some space, so that you can, if you wanted to, you could go 2 by 2. There's enough room in the cave to do that. So, and the floor is kind of hard, compacted dirt. It's not too sandy. It's just kind of hard, almost like a desert floor. Yeah.
Is there a way that we can chart the cave as we go? Or like breadcrumb style?
So, are you trying to keep a record of what you're doing, or are you trying to find your way out again, or both?
I think the latter, mostly. Make sure that we can get back out.
I'm gonna have everybody roll. Let's do a d20, and you're looking for a 10 or better natural.
All right, I got 16.
16. 10.
I got a 5.
5.
I got a 6.
6. Okay. Well, the boys were thinking. The two of you just so happen in your packs to have a stick of chalk that you can use to kind of mark your path, which is different than mapping the cavern. It's a different thing.
Cool.
So, but yeah, you can. In theory, you should be able to kind of track where you're coming from, where you're going, all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
I'll give you that. Anything else? What's next? This is all you guys now.
Do we hear anything? I know we smell a meaty smell, but do we hear anything?
Let's do perception. Everybody, perception roll.
Perception roll.
All right.
Oh, come on. Keeps falling in my lap.
I did not make it. I got a 12.
Okay.
15.
I got a 10. I died.
Hold on, I already lost the dice.
Get a box. Get a box.
Not doing too well.
9.
Okay, so who made it?
Adrik.
What was the... I got 15.
Perception.
Yeah, I got 15 on my roll.
Okay. Everybody else missed?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Yep. Jeez. Okay. So, Adrik, you... Right? There's something in here. You have dark vision, right?
Yeah.
Infravision, whatever. You don't see anything. I will tell you though, because you're still in the back, right? But Vadania, you're still in front.
Yes.
So with your vision, you can see, into the cave, obviously, and you can see that you're coming up to a T intersection to the right and the left. Adrik, you hear something. Can't place it. It's a rustling. I don't want to call it slithering, but it's like, just kind of stuff. Something's definitely in here. You can't see it.
Okay.
The way ahead of you is clear.
Can I tell how close it is to us, or like what way it is on
the way it's bouncing off the walls? You cannot tell.
Okay. All right, guys, be on guard. There's definitely something in here. I'm hearing something. I can't tell where with the echo bouncing off the cave, but there's definitely something closing in on us.
Okay.
Are you guys single file or 2x2?
Single file.
Single file. Okay. All right. You are coming up on. I assume you're still going forward, carefully.
Yeah.
And you're coming up to the intersection. Vadania, let me see an athletics roll.
Oh shoot.
All right. I rolled 14.
14. You rolled so that 14 plus your 3, or is it 14 altogether?
Plus the 3.
So 17.
Yeah.
17 on your acrobatics. Okay.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right.
Good catch. You take your next step as you're coming up onto the T intersection left and right, and the floor in front of you crumbles, falls away, and you're on your tiptoes, and like probably Oighre grabs you real quick and pulls you back. And that's like, ooh, that got your heart going. Okay. And as you peer into the floor ahead of you, it's a huge pit, about 10 feet by 10 feet. That should ring a bell to some of you.
Mm-hmm.
And as you kind of look in, you see a body in there. Looks. Give me a. Oh, no, by the time everybody looks, it's fine. 4 of you ultimately are going to see the body of a kobold down there that's been dead probably a couple days, and there's definitely an odor coming up from the base of the pit. It's pretty deep, but you're between your vision and the torchlight, you can see it. It's like, oh, jeez. Okay, that didn't go well. But let's do a what do I have? I've got a druid and a bard and a barbarian and a rogue. Let's have my oh, you know what? How about Horen? Give me a insight, intimidation. Give me an investigation roll, Horen.
Okay. So I got 18 plus 4, so 22.
Nice. And you can pass this on to your compatriots there if you wish. This kobold down at the bottom of the pit did not die from a fall. You can tell you can guess, given some of the other wounds on the body, that the more you look at it, this wasn't a fall kill. He was in something and then was either thrown or fell later.
Okay.
Hmm.
So
Your best guess.
Yeah, so I turn to the group and I say, there's definitely a dead kobold down there. He did not die from the fall. He was in a battle, it looks like. Multiple wounds across his body. Face cloven in two almost. It's pretty intense. So I think we should tread lightly moving forward, because what the guy mentioned. What was his name again? Darrow. It was either Darrow or the 2 dwarves that you had met with. Adrik mentioned something about kobolds and traps and stuff like that.
I think it was the dwarves.
Yeah. So I think we should tread lightly. This obviously is a kobold trap. So.
Yeah.
Is there anything?
We're definitely in kobold territory here.
Is there anything of value in the pit on the
Not that you
kobold?
can see.
Okay.
No. Mm-mm. So at the moment, you can go right or left. You're gonna have to kind of squeeze around the pit to do it.
Vadania, can you see down either way? Is she able to see down either way?
Uh-huh. Was there a distance? Does it give you a distance?
Yes.
What is that?
Isn't it
Should be here somewhere. Inventory
That's
features and
6.
traits.
60 feet, right? Isn't it? I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, 60 feet.
Yeah,
Shades
you're
of-
right.
And I assume that's the same for Adrik?
Yeah, I got the same 60 feet.
60 feet. Okay. Okay, so as you're peering around, so to your left, the tunnel continues on, and you're not 100% sure because it's just the limits of your vision, seems to kind of turn to the right. Okay? As you look to the right, there appears to be a turn to your left, a little into the wall, and keeps going. So you've got kind of an intersection headed to your right. perception roll, Vadania and Adrik.
That one.
I got 16 plus 13, maybe? Or yeah, I got a 16.
16.
Yeah.
As you're kind of, because I'm assuming the party's like being quiet, so you can just kind of stop and get the lay of the land here. There's definitely some noise coming from the right-hand passage. Adrik heard it a little bit earlier, kind of a scuffling. Now you're picking up on it, and it's movement of some kind for sure.
I don't like to agree with dwarves, but I think the sound he heard is coming from the right.
Then I think we should go to the left.
I mean, I gotta back Vadania. If she's saying that she's hearing something on the right, then I think we should go right.
Right it is then.
Sorry, Ori.
Right into the heat of battle. All right.
What makes
Did
you
you
say
for some
that?
reason think there wasn't going to be a battle?
I'm
No.
just trying to find this girl and get out of here.
I would have to agree with that.
No lollygagging.
What is a lollygag?
Oh, you're about to find out.
Yeah.
And it's the chief lollygag, so you're in extra trouble there. All right, so you make your way to the right, weapons drawn, ready to go, and just as you are about to reach the turn that goes off to the left, a kobold steps in front of you. Just kind of, you all startle each other. He's coming right. He's got a spear in his hand. He's coming, and he turns around the corner and sees you and goes "Rah!" and says something in kobold, which makes all of you guys go "Rah!" And boom, that's it. We're in it. So everybody, roll for initiative.
Initiative.
Ooh.
6.
Who was that? Sorry.
6 for Adrik.
Uh-oh.
I got 18 plus 2, so
Here's my
20.
initiative.
20.
Is initiative something else?
So right beside your armor class, there's initiative multiplier. So roll your d20 and then add that.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at your character sheet, babe.
I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yours is a +3.
Oh, +4? Oh.
I think yours
Okay,
is.
I got a 1. It's not a nat 1. I got a 2, but I have -1.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. So basically, roll
All
the
right,
d.
so I got a 6.
Huh?
6. Oh, you're an Adrik. Okay.
Yay.
My goodness, my friends. All
I
right.
did say I wanted to go left. I don't have that much initiative.
So sorry.
Oh. Sorry. Adrik. Anya. Boom. Go time. All right. So, Horen, your go, my friend.
All right. So
You're in the passage is about 10 feet by 10 feet where you're at. So there's just enough room to maneuver. And yeah. So combat cheat sheet we can do. Remember, you've got a move, an action, bonus action, and like an interaction. So you let me know what your plan is, and we'll work it out.
All right. So I've got a move, an action, and a bonus action, right?
Yes.
Okay.
If you have something that counts as a bonus action, then yes.
Okay. So obviously he popped out right in front of us. So
Yep.
if I can kind of like shift to the left, so he's out of my like line of sight.
Yep.
He or she, I don't know. It could
Yep.
be a she. So I shift out of my line of sight, and then I'm gonna hit him with my quarterstaff. So I gotta roll a d6.
Let's whoa, my friend. Slow down.
My bad.
Let's see about that. So, of course, if this is her and boom, and you've got the quarterstaff, are you? So in order, because you were third in line, so what you're gonna have to do is a move. So you have to move to him
Okay.
as your move, and then attack.
Okay.
With your quarterstaff, 5-foot reach. Yep. And so what we're doing there is you'll be. Let me just double check this. So you should have a hit / DC, next, and that's a +2.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So you're gonna roll your d20 and add 2 to it.
Okay.
And you're gonna tell me what that is in just a second. Not quite yet. Let me get my. Okay, I am ready. Go ahead.
All right. So you said D20.
D20 and then add your 2. Yep.
Okay. Of course, I got a 1. So 3. Of course. I mean, you called it. You called it. But I have a bonus action, right?
Well, let's.
All right.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
What is now? The bonus action has to be something on your sheet that is So you've got you have a couple of things listed there as.
So I have a bonus action cantrip that I want to cast.
Okay. Let's see. Transmutation. Yes. So I'm gonna give you, and I'm being upfront. I may be wrong about how this operates.
Okay.
But I believe I'm correct, and if I'm mistaken, we'll fix it next time around. So I'm going to give you. So kind of what happened is he surprised you, and you were like, ah! And just immediately went into action, and that's why you missed, just completely. Holy, like wow! And then as you recovered that, you recovered your senses, and were like, right, magic spell, boom! And so you cast that, and so that will be ready for your next round. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense.
That's how I'm going to call that one.
Okay.
Cool. So you're there. You're within 5 feet of him. Whew, missed, but now you got magic stick. Yay!
Sweet.
That puts it over to me because you guys rolled terrible. That was just awful. Vadania. Dun dun dun. So he sees. So obviously you're the first. You're right there in his line of sight.
Yes.
And he's trying to stick you with a spear. Looking at. Okay, so he's got this and this. All right. +4, so this was. Oh, friend. So he or she was so startled, that it just went here, like like to the degree that you're almost like, God, really? So such a whiff. It was just awful. That puts us to Oighre.
All right. So, how close are they to me?
You were second in line, so he's within about 5 feet of you right now.
5 feet?
Probably most striking distance.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll take out my longsword quickly, and like.
You can already have that out if you want.
All right, I can already have that out. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's step towards them and try to take at them.
All right. So we're gonna do our D20, and this is your. Wait, which weapon?
My longsword.
Longsword. I don't see a long. I see a rapier. Oh. Wait, am I looking at the right
rapier?
person?
Okay.
Yeah. Is that right?
Oh no, that's your proficiencies.
That's my proficiencies.
Yeah,
dagger, rapier. Yeah, sorry, rapier.
Rapier. Okay, cool. So we're gonna roll the D20, and then you're gonna add whatever your +4 to that. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. 4 + 4, 8.
8. Swing and a miss.
It's going well.
We're doing great.
That dude's like, who are these?
We're the chosen.
Well, to be fair, he missed as well.
The chosen ones.
So
That Darrow guy's full of crap.
It's a little cramped in here, so you're kind of trying to go around. Maybe Vadania was right in front of you.
Anything, so
Also, yeah, you're basing. If you don't have the vision, you're also basically using Huron's torch as your only source of light. So it makes sense that you would maybe miss that one.
Yeah.
All right, Adrik, you're up to bat. What do you got? You're in the back.
Let me see if I can step up to him and hit him with my hammer.
All right. Let me go back to the. Oh no! Come back! Wait. Sorry. Okay, good. And we're looking at the Warhammer. So you've got that +5. Okay. Yep. Whenever you're ready.
17.
17. All right. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing.
All right. So I'm stepping up. I've watched pretty much my whole team miss every single shot in this. So I'm just stepping right up to it and I'm just swinging as hard as I can on him.
Boom.
Because it should not have taken all of us this length of time to hit a cobalt once.
I'm also gonna add, just for color,
Go for it.
like you are so jazzed right now and like terrified and excited because you said this is your second fight ever.
Yeah,
So
which they don't know. I have not like stated the fact that like this is literally the second big fight I've been in.
so you're just like, I mean, you're just on pure adrenaline and instinct at this point, hoping to God something good happens. Fortunately, go ahead and show me your 1d8 plus 3. What's the difference? Why are there two? Oh, bludgeoning. Okay. Great.
That's a
Why do you
D8
have-
for it.
I'm not sure why you have two different. Okay, we're gonna do it the 1d. We're gonna go stick with the 1d8 plus 3.
Yeah,
for
D
damage.
is what I've got on my sheet for the Warhammer. I've got 1d6 for my hand axe.
Okay, we'll do the 1d8 plus 3 for damage with this hammer.
8, 9, 10, 11.
11.
Oh, is it not plus 5? Because I've got proficiency as well.
Let me see.
So would it be 1d8 plus 5? Because it's plus 3 for the attack and then another plus 2 for
Oh.
proficiency.
Okay, that's what I thought. So, for the moment, again, we may adjust this later. You don't get the plus 5.
Okay.
That's just for the attack, but you do get the plus the 2. Oh, it's 2d8. I'm sorry. 2d8 plus 3 will be your total damage. So.
It's 2d8? Is it 2d8 for the first level Barbarian?
Is that what it says on yours?
No, mine just says 1d8 plus 3. Under hit it's got plus 5, so.
I am.
Because yeah, 2d8 seemed a lot for like a first level.
It was 1d8 earlier, and I clicked something here. I don't know. But now I've got these dice again. Okay. In any event, so you did the 1d8 plus 3?
Yeah, so it's 11.
Total of 11. All right, awesome. We'll take that. I'll get rid of that. And he's boom. Okay, so all right, I'm gonna start graphic, and if I need to stop, just somebody stop me.
No, go for it, man. Go for it.
So in your fit of just, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fight, like if that's just what's running through your head right now, and you just bring that sucker down, straight down on top of his head, which then collapses into his chest, so that from here he's just flat, straight across here. Skull, everything, straight down into his chest cavity,
Oof.
and he just topples over.
That's how you do it.
And then you're like, "Ugh." No, I won't. I don't do that. That's how you do. Nicely done. At which point, so that was Adrik. I'm going to give Vadania her move to respond to that. That's a good look.
All right. So what do I do?
I don't know. You have a move and an attack, or you don't have to do anything. You can just absorb what just happened if you need to.
Is it dead?
Yeah, it's dead.
It was flat across the shoulders where its head used to
I had
be.
to ask.
Pretty confident it's
I
dead.
had to ask.
It is. It's a good.
Is there anything for me to do?
Not really. I just wanted to give you the opportunity because we're at the end of that round. So we're kind of taking this in, like, wow, that was pretty intense, pretty cool. And right about that time, from around that left corner, 5 additional kobolds come running out.
Of course.
Weapons drawn. But because that was technically the end of a combat, I'm going to give everybody the chance to redeem themselves, and we will re-roll initiative.
Yay!
Why would you make
Everybody
me
gets
do
their
that?
Oh, that was not good. You've got to do better than I just did.
I got a 13.
I got a 14.
I got an 11.
Wait. I lost track. Hold on. 11. Ori,
I got 14.
14. And Vadania?
14.
14. Nice. Okay. So now we're looking at...
We all woke up.
Yeah, you're focused now. You guys are in the zone. That's good. So Ori got 14. So we're looking at Ori, Adrik. No, I'm sorry. Ori, Vadania, Adrik, Horen, and then the kobolds. They did not roll very well at all. All right, Ori, over to you. 5 of these guys come running out and with various weapons, and they see their dead guy, look up at you guys, and start screaming in some kind of crazy kobold language, and they're all just en masse rushing all 4 of you.
Okay. Can I use my cold breath?
I bet you can. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Ori, Dragonborn. Let's see. Where's our It's probably a feature or a trait, right? Spellcasting, bardic inspiration, racial traits. White drag. Breath weapon! Once per short rest as an action. Each creature in the area must make a DC 10 saving throw. Very nice. Taking 2d6. Whoa! Can you see anywhere how much damage that's going to do if it hits? Because I see 2d6, but it looks like not until 6th level.
One short action.
Let's see if I can. Can you
Each
use
creature
your...
there must take a DC 10 saving throw.
Right, 8.
D6 on a failed save and half damage on a successful one.
Yeah, I see 2d6. Okay, we're going to roll 2d6. So, each creature in the area, this is a cone, so that's good. DC 10. Damage on 6. Okay, so you're just doing that, so you don't have to roll anything. You're just letting that thing, which looks super cool. Everybody's like, yeah, we got the dragon on our team. That's cool. You're dead, so I'm going to take you out. So, in that case, 1, 2, 3, 1. Fortunately, I have 5 d20s.
Nice.
Because I'm a nerd. And so, at 10... Okay. So that's... Oh, well, that's too bad for you. Okay. Ori, go ahead, and what you're gonna end up rolling is 1d6 5 times. And just give them to me one at a time.
Okay. What's a D6? Which one?
It's the square one.
This one? Okay, thank you.
So when you're used to.
So 5 times? Okay. Here's number 1.
Okay.
3.
Got it.
2.
Got it.
Another 2.
Got it.
5.
There you go.
Got it.
And another 5.
Nice.
Nice. Good job. All right, so they come running out. Rah! Very scary, and you're like, Cool ice breath comes out. And the first 2, who are presumably the bravest ones, unfortunately, and they're just about to, they're right almost on top of Vadania. The breath hits them. They just lock in place and then fall over like in a solid almost block of ice. The other 3, you can see kind of squeal away a little bit from it. You can see kind of shoulders and like part of the face over here, leg, getting kind of frostbitten looking like. But those 3 are still coming forward. That was Ori. Vadania, you're up. Nicely done.
That was awesome.
You muted? You're just quiet.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just quiet.
Like
I don't know what to do.
So, I think there's 3 left, right?
There's 3 left.
All right.
So
You've got some weapons, presumably. I think you've got some spells you could do. Ooh, you got a bunch of daggers. Short bow, short sword. Yeah,
I was. I'll definitely bust out my short sword.
Okay. Awesome. And just swing for whoever's coming closest?
Yes.
Alright, so you're going to roll your 20 and then add 5 to it, it looks like.
Okay. So I got 10.
Oh, is that all together or is that 10 plus 5?
All together.
Okay, so you're having a bad time. Probably
Not my day.
not your day, but you know what? That cold breath thing, like it just caught you and it really hurt, and so you sort of weren't able to quite get the swing that you normally would have, unfortunately, which is too bad. Adrik, you're still up and still kind of like, I just crushed a guy's skull! It sank into his body! He has no head!
Alright, so first of all, I see all the guys that puts me into a rage.
Oh, okay.
Which I forgot to do for the last round, the Barbarian.
That's okay. Yep.
Which also, I think that's where that +2 I was looking at, making it a +5, is like I get a +2 on stuff with
with rage.
With rage, so that's where it was.
Oh! Okay, with the Warhammer? Gotcha.
So
Okay.
I go into a rage and head to the next nearest Cobalt.
Okay.
And I'm going to take a shot right at his midsection with my hammer.
Alright.
Good.
Okay, that's one. Okay, so we're still looking at, this is the Warhammer, so you D20 plus 5, right?
A D20 plus 5, so that's 15.
15. Boom. That's a hit. And so now you get the D10 plus 3 because of the rage. All right. Go ahead.
D10 plus 3.
Whoop.
Oh, get a box, you people.
I do have one of those. That's an 8.
8. Dun, dun. And you said you were swinging for the midsection?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what I'm seeing, it's better in person so you can stand up and act stuff out. So, the one guy came, he crushed his head. All right. The rest of them came rushing out. Dragonborn freezes them over here. Some of them fall. You're just picking up, kind of doing the swing around and like an underhand kind of thing. The head of your hammer catches him right under the sternum, lifts that thing up, and punts his sorry ass so far down the tunnel. You hear the ribs just like dry cereal. Just
Oh.
Nice.
Gone. Absolute gone. And as you're like coming back, the front of that hammer is just coated in kobold blood. Absolutely destroyed that poor thing. Well done there. Horen.
Shoot. I turn to Adrik and say, "How do I follow that?" No, I didn't say that.
Sounds like your problem, mate.
So am I still? I'm obviously still standing where I was previously. Is Vadania closest to the fray? Obviously, besides okay.
Correct.
Question: am I able to cast 2 cantrips? No, not in the same go.
I don't think so,
Okay.
unless one of them is a bonus action.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd have to stick with one.
Okay. So I do have one of my cantrips is a bonus action. So
Okay.
I'm going to.
Well, you've already done. Can't pronounce it. The
Shillelagh.
Shillelagh. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shillelagh.
Shillelagh. So you've already cast that.
Oh, okay.
last
Cool.
round. You got that.
Cool.
You're good there.
I'm gonna cast resistance
Okay.
on
Real
Vadania
creature.
This will go for stuff.
Okay. Cool.
because I think that like halves her hit points if they do hit her, right?
I'm
Or something
reading.
like that.
Once before the spell ends, the target, so Vadania, can roll a d4 and add that number rolled to a saving throw of her choice.
Okay.
So it's just the ultimate effect is a saving throw. If she has any of those during the fight, then she'll get the extra d4.
Okay. Cool. All right, and then
Cool, that's a good roll.
I'm going to with all the energy I can muster.
Mhm.
Muster.
Buster.
I'm gonna swing my quarterstaff for all it's worth.
Got it. So we're looking at d20 plus 2, but let me double check on that. Shillelagh. What do we got there? You can use your spellcasting ability instead of. Okay, so are you choosing to use your strength or your spellcasting? Those are your options with this now. Becomes a d8. Okay.
So if I use strength, What? Sorry, this is a dumb question. So what's the difference between the two?
So if you're using your strength, the basic difference is if you use your strength, you will roll. If you're using spellcasting, then I will roll because it'll be it'll be a saving throw on the kobold.
Okay, let's try spellcasting.
Okay, off we merrily go. So we're gonna spend this is magical attack. Oh, all right.
Uh-oh.
How are you? You were swinging at him.
Yeah.
Just okay. So, roll. Whoops, that's not what I want. Roll your 1d8 plus 3. It looks like. You're using this. Yeah, 1d8 plus 3.
All right.
Because 1d8 plus 3 for damage.
All right, I got a 6 total.
6 total. 6, 8. So it might be I'm gonna alter it if you don't mind a little bit. Given the tight confines of the cave, like swinging it feels like a real bad idea. Like,
Okay.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
So instead, but because it's this cool quarterstaff, just a straight in jab, and you've got the magic going and everything, and you're just freaked out. End of the quarterstaff takes him right in the mouth. Jaw goes askew. He drops. Bam! Flat on his back. He is not moving. Well done there.
Sweet.
Boom. Blood everywhere. But the first row. So Vadania and Oighre, you're just splashed with this. It's everywhere. That leaves my lone kobold seeing all of this, but still having a chance to react. We're gonna do. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going after Vadania because I guess you're closest.
Hey.
And we're looking at because he has not yet noticed what a bad situation he has found himself in. And there is no way. Okay, we're gonna be. He's trying. He's swinging at you with a dagger.
All right.
I don't think so. Yeah. Practically trips coming at you and whiffs big time. Just a big nothing. And that brings us back to Oighre.
All right.
With one remaining kobold.
How close? Am I close enough to try to take him out with my rapier?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm
Give
gonna
it a
go
go.
and step forward and just try to finish him since he tripped and fell.
Finish
And...
him. Body
Finish
bag.
him.
Alright, okay, so we're looking at D20 plus 4. Alright, go for it.
All right, 9, 10. So 13.
13 hits. And that's a 1d8 plus 2.
Okay, so what's the 8 one? This one?
Yeah, the 8. That's your D8.
The 8 and then plus 2.
Yep.
7.
7, nicely done there. So, rapier being a long, slender weapon, and very much a finesse sort of weapon, you execute this gorgeous lunge, just straight into him, like something out of Three Musketeers, right through the sternum, all the way to the hilt, and maybe even lift him up just a little bit there. And he's looking at you, and you've just got him skewered dead on your rapier. And that takes us out of combat, surrounded by a mess of dead kobolds.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We take in the carnage
So,
and we
everybody,
bathe in their blood. I'm just joking. We don't
if
do
you
that.
have if you have access to your sheet, make sure you check anything that needs, like a slot that needs to be filled, like breath weapon has been used. I'm not sure if there was anything else. I know that one needs to be checked off, so just make sure you're keeping track of that.
And then keep track of your breath weapon usage.
So what does that mean? So just because it needs a rest after? Or?
Yeah, I can think of your breath. You can use it twice, I think.
Well, as an action,
once
once
per short rest. So a short rest.
I think
Okay. So okay, correct.
Huron, yours was a cantrip, right?
Yeah.
I think so. I don't think you have to mark that off.
No, I think you can use those.
You can use that.
Yeah.
It's permanent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
cool.
can't
So you got that.
just use. They don't take up any slots. So
Oh, I
So
see. I see the cast button.
Like
I see what you're talking about.
while we're walking, or
yeah, like
Does it
if
have to
we're
be like
walking or have it like that, it's like doesn't enable sleep or something.
okay.
Cool. So back over to you guys. You've got 6 dead cold, very dead. Well, I'm sorry, 5 dead ones, and presumably a 6th somewhere, several yards down the cave.
So can we
Wow.
can we search like should we search the bodies to see if there's anything that we could use?
Sure. You
Anything
can do that. Yeah. Actually, I'll tell you what. Everybody roll a d6.
D6. Okay.
I got 6.
6.
6.
6.
I got 1.
3.
3. Amongst you each find that number of silver pieces.
Ooh.
Ay.
Nice.
Add that to your sheet.
Nice. Where do I
I mean,
add
it's
that?
it's a group fund, but if you want to keep track separately, you have the choice of keeping track separately, or somebody can be like the banker and hold all of it. It's up to you.
I will. You said 6. It was silver, right?
Yes. And then
Ori, how many did you get?
6.
Adrik, how many did you get?
3.
Too preoccupied with the blood to find silver.
Vadania, I'm just gonna fill it out. Well, I mean, if you guys want to keep
Okay.
track, you can. But I'll try to keep track for everybody. The stuff that
Yeah,
we
that's
find,
fine.
the gold and stuff.
Yeah, you can be the banker. That's fine.
Yep, we're good.
cool. All right. Yep. Go ahead.
Nothing.
Nothing. So at this point, you've got the approximately 6 dead kobolds littering the ground in various states of disarray, to say the least. So you chose to go right originally, which you did, and then the kobolds came from a bend in the left. Okay. So as you kind of look there, the bend in the left turns out to be a dead end. It's just kind of a big alcove where they've got some chairs and kegs of they're turned into tables and stuff like that. Kind of gives the impression of just like a common area or guard room, something like that. And the rest of the tunnel continues on to the east. So, if I'm not mistaken, it is 11 o'clock your time. Does that look right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just had a successful battle. We're going to call it there, facing that tunnel, or you can go back the way you came. And we will find out what happens next time.